It's music theory. Online, let's learn some theory. Online, by watching modules. Online, with music theory. Online.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Module 2 in our Intermediate Theory course. Today we'll be reviewing notes, rests, and semitones. We'll be working a little bit more on the alto and tenor clef as well. There won't be any surprises in this module. It's really more of a review module. As I said earlier, this module is really a review module. Because there are some concepts and some information that's so crucial, it's really not a bad idea to spend some time reviewing some concepts. They should all seem very easy to you. On this slide, we see the following notes: whole note, whole rest, half note, half rest, quarter note, quarter rest, eighth note, eighth rest, and 16th note and 16th rest. This chart is showing you a breakdown of each of these note values. A whole note is equal to 2 half notes, to 4 quarter notes, to 8th notes, to 16 16th notes, and 32 32nd notes. I think it's worthwhile to take a second and see how all of these combine. Let's look at the half notes. 2 quarter notes equal a half note. Next we have the quarter notes. 2 quarter notes equal 2 eighth notes equal a quarter note. Now let's look at the 16th notes. 2 32nd notes are going to equal a 16th note. I know you know this, but it doesn't hurt to review it. Let's review dots. First of all, a single dot increases the duration of the note by 1/2 of its original value. That means a dotted half note is equal to a half note plus a quarter note. We also have double dots in music. A double dot increases the duration of the note by 1/2 of its original value plus 1/2 of that first dot. That means a double dotted half note would equal a half note plus a quarter note plus an eighth note. Because this is a review, I hope you really do understand all of this. If you don't, remember I'm here to help you. Now let's review some accidentals. An accidental is a sharp, a double sharp, a natural, a flat, or a double flat that's written before the note. A double flat lowers a note by 2 semitones or half steps. In this example, we have a D double flat. When we begin on D and go down 2 semitones lower, we end up on the note C. That means that C and D double flat are enharmonic twins. A flat lowers a note by 1 semitone or half step. In this example, we have D flat. When we begin on D and we go down a semitone or a half step, we end up on D flat, which is the enharmonic twin of C sharp. A natural cancels out any previous sharps or flats that are in a measure or that are in the key signature. We have a D natural here, although writing the natural really wasn't necessary. It's really here to show you how it's written. Our next note is D sharp. A sharp raises a note by a semitone or half step. When you raise D to D sharp, it's played here. D sharp is the enharmonic equivalent of E flat. The double sharp raises a note by 2 semitones or half steps. When we raise D by 2 semitones, you end up here. Another name for this note is E. I'm sure you noticed that I used the term enharmonic notes in the last slide. Do you remember what an enharmonic note is? It's a note that has a different name but is played in the same place. Really, it's calling a note something different. For example, D flat and C sharp are enharmonic notes because you play them on the same place on the keyboard, however they have different letter names. E flat and D sharp are enharmonic notes because they're on the same place on the piano. Do you remember what a semitone or a half step is? A semitone or a half step is the shortest distance between any two notes. There are two types of semitones, diatonic and chromatic. A diatonic semitone will have a different letter name. For example, C to D flat is a diatonic semitone because it has a different letter name. D to E flat is a diatonic semitone because it has a different letter name. E to F is a diatonic semitone, F to G flat is a diatonic semitone, and so on. A chromatic semitone is going to have a common or the same letter name. C to C sharp is a chromatic semitone. D to D sharp is a chromatic semitone. E to E sharp is a chromatic semitone. A whole tone is simply two semitones. All whole tones always have one note in between them. Often that one note is a black note, however, it can sometimes be a white key. For example, E to F sharp is a whole tone, and B to C sharp is also a whole tone. Let's just review what we've covered in this module. I'm hoping there were no surprises for you. Most of what we've covered is all review material. A dot is going to increase the length of a note by half of its original value. When you have a double dot, it's going to increase the length of the note by half of its original value plus half of the next dot. While a sharp raises the pitch of a note by a semitone, a double sharp will raise the pitch of the note by two semitones. A flat will lower the pitch by a semitone, and a double flat will lower the pitch by two semitones. A natural will cancel out any sharp or flat either in that measure or in the key signature. An enharmonic note is going to sound the same but have a different letter name. For example, C sharp and D flat are enharmonic notes. You'd play them on the same place in the piano and they have the same sound, but they have different letter names. A semitone or a half step is the shortest distance between any two notes. A chromatic semitone will have a common letter name, while a diatonic semitone will have a different letter name. C to C sharp is a chromatic semitone, and C to D flat is a diatonic semitone. When you play these semitones, they sound exactly the same. A whole tone is equal to two semitones. A whole tone must always have a key in between. It's nice to have a review to give you the opportunity to let all of the concepts really gel in your mind. You'll find the theory assignments this week fairly easy because it's a review week. Even so, I still hope to see you at Theory Club. If there's anything you're not sure of or need clarification on, please let me know. I'm here to help you every step of the way. Have a super duper week. Bye now.
It's music theory. Online, let's learn some theory. Online, by watching modules. Online, with music theory. Online.